Hello, hello, hello. This is Adolph, and this is going to be a big podcast. A big podcast in the sense that it's both big for this website and big for me personally, and might be a big length of a podcast. But it's something that I have to say. And I've already written down a version of this podcast on the website that you could read. This is the podcast version, which is usually try to mix it up a little bit, have a little bit different stuff. But anyway, let's get to it. This is the beginning of the end of 3dor2d.com. 2023 will likely be the last year. It may not exist at all in 2024. I understand this news might shock and disappoint you, and I'm sorry. 3dor2d.com has existed since June of 2014, so it's been almost 9 years, and I feel an obligation to the fans and the audience and listeners like yourself to know of its upcoming demise. I've been around the block a long time, listened to different podcasts, followed different websites, and a lot of them have not given people notice, or they give people notice, they basically say, this is the last podcast, bye. And you're like, what? And, I'm going to give you my about 2-month notice doing this. So I want to make sure I give answers to people, and this is what this is for. I strongly feel that something needs closure. Everything that needs closure in the morning for something, especially something that has spent a lot of your time. And this website has spent a lot of my time over the last 9 years. And I hope that you listening have spent a good amount of your time watching and or listening and or reading our reviews or content. First of all, I want to thank everyone who's worked with me and who's supported me and who's followed my website for so many years. This is a good web post, and it's a very truthful podcast that I'm going to try to make it entertaining and interesting. And it may sound a little bitter. The tone may be a little bit angry. It is what it is. I refuse to apologize for it. I'm not going to, say, well, I'm just going to give you a heads up about it now, so you know. This is going to be a feisty, fired up kind of podcast. And it's going to have adult language. And, so buckle up. Might be a little bit preachy, too. Now, this might be a long podcast. When I wrote it down, it became about 9 pages printed out. So, and of course, it's full of adult explicit language. So, I'm going to make a G-rated TLDR version. Too long, didn't read. This will be it for this section here. I'm going to, after this section, you'll have some music, and then I'll get into the meat of it. But if you don't want full of cursing and a big long rant, then you can end it when the music ends. So this podcast and this website has been a passion project for myself, and it's slowly become laborious work. This website is no longer worthy of my time. I'm frustrated, burnt out, and this website will end May 27th, 2023. After that point, I don't know what's going to happen. If you want to get, if you're interested in potentially buying out this website, email me. Email adolphvega@me.com. That'll be in the info box. Goodbye. Warning, this podcast is uncensored and contains profane adult language. Now, I imagine you have questions. Thank you for coming back. I'm going to try to answer those questions in this. It might be a lot of detail, it might be boring, but I'm trying to make this fun. A good listen. Obviously, this is by myself, my decision. So, why is the most obvious question you may have? And simply put, I'm burnt out. I'm tired of working on this website. Did the cost-benefit analysis to continue this website, it just does not add up. I do get some revenue, but does not at all come close to the costs of this website to me. Costs both financially and of mentally. This website has been consuming most of my free time, and it has become work. Sadly, this work doesn't pay well, if at all. I get some, but it's not close to what I feel like it's necessary for me to continue on. And I receive little joy from working on this website anymore. As I get older, I see time as a very precious thing. It's a commodity that you don't know when it's going to end. writing reviews, editing podcasts, recording podcasts, making videos, and making social media posts and all that jazz takes a lot of time. And the content creation is just very time consuming. And I want to have my own time to do other things. Look, your time in life is limited. You never know exactly the minute and day and time, unless you kill yourself, that you're going to die. Doctors sometimes get wrong. And sometimes you live 10 years after the doctor says you're going to live for 6 months. Sometimes the doctor gives you 6 months and you live for 2 months. And sometimes shit happens. And lightning hits you and you're dead. And no way you could have planned that out. Sometimes car accident happens and you're dead. You had no idea it was going to happen that day, and it happened. So, time that you have in life is limited. And the free time, for me, is what I feel like is the most precious of that time. People take that for granted. But you really, really need it. You need to have time to relax. Time for peace and quiet. Time to even do nothing at all. You need these types of times to stay sane and to be happy. Work is a necessity. I get that. Don't get me wrong. I get you have to work. But work will always find ways to consume more of your time. Don't listen to those crazy workaholics who say, oh, you got to make your hobbies into your job. Hobbies and work should be separate, at least for me, because they should serve separate functions in your life. Your hobbies should bring you joy to your life. Maybe peace, maybe happiness, but at least some joy. Not everything in life has to be productive or lead directly to any kind of monetary gain. Not everything has to be productive. Say that again. It's okay to have some days off. If you're lucky, you might have a job that works out to be pretty fun. And maybe you don't hate it. Maybe you like it. There are some lucky people that really like their jobs. But most people, they do what they need to do. They work their work. Work is work, and you just gotta get it done, move on. Now, making your hobbies into your work sounds like a good idea, but it just gives you more work and robs away the potential joy that you may have from those hobbies. The hustler work culture, working 14 hours a day, you gotta keep going, make that money. That's toxic and crazy. Don't do that. Trust me. Burning the metaphorical candle at both ends can lead to wealth. Yes, cannot deny that. But it could also definitely lead you to be burnt out and frustrated with your life. This website used to be a fun hobby for me, and now it's work. This is a great kind of preamble, a great introduction to my experiences with this website. Even when 3D movie releases are light, 3D news might be heavy. The planning for this news content is always never ending. It's always happening. I always have to think about something else. I got a plan on the website to make, the review for next review. Oh, what to make a preview for the next thing. There's always something else to think about. I'm always thinking about this website during my day job, and it's tiring and exhausting. People are often unforgiving, and they want their content that suits their schedule, and they don't care about your sleep schedule or your life. I've stressed about posting 3D reviews on a timely manner. Look, I know 3D movie reviews are time sensitive. You may not get a chance to watch that movie if you don't watch it after 2 weeks it's released, because theaters may never show it again. And you may not even have a 3D Blu-ray of it. So you have to have that review up ASAP, or else no one's going to care. And it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress to handle. People will chew you out for not giving you the content they need. You never know when traffic will come to your website. If you put up the review at 9 a.m. and people got there at 8, well, you're already an hour too late. And you missed out on your traffic, and they're going to be mad at you, even though it came out an hour later. Making new original content is mentally taxing. This mental exhaustion caused by this website cannot be cured by taking a vacation or a day off. When I'm on vacation, I worry about this website. I think about content that I should be making or could be making, or stuff that, okay, I'll release it when I'm on vacation so I don't have to worry about content. It's never ending. It keeps going in my head. Movie releases don't take a vacation either. Websites operate constantly, each hour of the day, 24/7. Every day of the year, Holidays, doesn't matter. News can happen on Christmas Day, or when your family members are getting married, or when your pets are dying. Doesn't matter. Content has to be created. Articles and reviews still need to be posted, even if you're sick. Independently running your own website is an extensive amount of work. Even when your website uses templates like Squarespace, like what I use, and instead of coding, it's still a lot of potential work. The pressure to make new content never ends because your potential content never ends. This website has become a nagging voice in my head, the back of my mind that just won't shut up. The nagging voice reminds me I have patrons. I gotta make content for those patrons. And on top of the other content I make, because the patrons pay good money for this, and they deserve good amount of content. And I gotta make sure I get enough content for the regular website as well. So double, it's I gotta keep making content. Of course, I've already paid for this website, so I spent my money on this website and spent my money on time to watch this movie or whatever, or my gas. So I need to make it worth it for me. So I have to do this. And the news never ends. It doesn't take a day off. I can't either. I can't take a day off. I have to have something else to do. And for this website, and it's always something I could review, always something I could preview, always something I could do an article about, another listicle I could make or whatever. Always something. People that find your website today may not return tomorrow. If you aren't constantly creating and publishing new content, people may not even notice you. I've received emails telling me that I don't post enough content. Even when I'm checking my own email, boom. Here's some content. Why didn't you make this? The nagging voice that just doesn't let me rest. Always got to make new content. Never ending. Making your own website makes you a slave of constantly creating new and original content. I'm tired of carrying the burden of constant content creation for 3dor2d.com. I'm ready to tell these nagging voices in my head to shut the hell up. I'm done with this website and I'm done with this lifestyle that it's forced upon me. This has become a money pit for me, and I need to stop digging and walk away. I simply don't have the passion to do this anymore. I still enjoy watching movies in 3D, don't get me wrong, but I have no passion to continue this website indefinitely. If you don't have passion to do something in life, then why bother doing it? So when exactly will this website end? The website hosting service that I use is Squarespace. I pay for Squarespace on a monthly basis, and I can cancel that at any time. The domain name for 3dor2d.com is charged on a yearly basis, and the renewal date is May 27, 2023. Therefore, May 27, 2023 is tentative demise date, and for 3dor2d.com and everything attached to it, the podcast and everything else. That's it. So what's next for me and the website? Well, I don't know. I want to tell you a 10-point plan, but I don't have it. I would love for this website to continue without me. Maybe someone wants to have direct supervision of this website and just continue on. That'd be cool. I don't know if anyone would really want it. Who knows? I'm interested in selling the domain name for a fair price. Maybe I'll pay the domain name for another year and not post anything as I wait for a new right buyer. I don't know. Maybe someone would buy it up and say, okay, I can change everything about it. I would hate for this website to be deleted off the internet altogether, but that might happen. We will continue to provide new content all the way until May 27th. The last 3D movie review will probably be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I know Disney's live-action Little Mermaid movie comes out right at that edge of time, and it might be too difficult to review that before the end, but I gotta play with that and see. I'm not gonna guarantee we can do that review. I'm not gonna say we can't or can. We gotta see closer to release date. I'm also considering saving this website onto archive.org. That way the website can exist in one fashion. Just doesn't get, snapped out of existence. We'll be creating one final podcast for the website before the demise date. So you can look for on the podcast feed one final podcast. And that will be the final podcast that will be there, and it'll be the goodbye episode of the 3D show. I don't know what number that will be. But that's just the kind of basic preview of what kind of content, what you can expect from this website before the demise. I have other ideas. I'm going to keep them secret for now. I just don't want to share all my cards because I don't know if I have time to do everything I have ideas for. I have some ideas for other websites too that I might consider doing in the future. If you want more of my own content, I do have 2 YouTube channels. Adolph Vega YouTube channel. The link is going to be in the info box. I also have this channel. I'd post random kind of stuff that I want to do. Nothing to do with 3D. Adolph Plays channel. I do video games on here. I play. I have a El Gato kit so I could record me playing games. I post on those YouTube channels randomly. It's not any kind of every Monday at 2 o'clock. Nah, whatever. Neither channel is really taken off, so I might not even bother to make content for those, but they do exist right now. And in the future, I might have more time now that I won't have this website to put more content there. I'm not committed. We'll see. I just gotta. It's available now. If you want that content, just letting you know. So, is this demise of this website related to the other 2022/2023 tech layoffs and the failure of the Silicon Valley Bank? Nope. Simple as that. No connections. My heart goes out to other people that have been laid off or will soon be laid off. I hope they find fantastic new jobs soon. Completely coincidental that's happened. Now, is it possible I'll change my mind and that 3dor2d will continue on as is? The simple answer to that question is no. For fun's sake, let's ask a magic 8-ball. The 8-ball says, don't count on it. Seriously though, any of this website has been on my mind for several years. Maybe something unforeseen happens in the near future and causes me to reconsider. Unless something changes, the website will meet its demise after May 27th. I don't know. I kind of figure the odds of me changing my mind are extremely low. I don't want to say a precise number, but I just don't see that really happening. Look, I haven't rushed into this decision. I don't make this lightly. Who knows? Maybe an eccentric billionaire or venture capitalist will pay me to continue this website as is. Maybe some rich 3D fan will want to manage the website on their own. And then they'll be like, hey, we'll pay you for the rights and the website, and we'll pay you to be on the website or whatever. I don't know. I could transfer the website to them. In this scenario, I'll be interested. But, it might be a totally different kind of website, and it might be really, it's all theoretical. So, we can work out the details privately. Just email me if you're interested. adolphvega@me.com. Again, that'll be in the info box. I want to have some time to ponder all the options, so don't expect that I will say, let's do this right now, tomorrow. I want to have time. I have some time. I don't want to rush into that decision. Maybe something will happen the day before the shut-off day. Who knows? Now, I understand that people may consider me a quote-unquote sellout for even considering a potential buyout. You know what? Anyone who thinks that can fuck off. I hope you get explosive, painful diarrhea. Look, I provide a vast majority of my content on 3dor2d.com for free for almost a decade. Even if you paid for my content on Patreon, I never asked for more than a few dollars a month. After May 2023, I have no interest in working on this website without a substantial payment of some sorts. If I could profit off this website, then why not? I'm ready to move on. I see nothing wrong with receiving some money for this website. Will a big payout really fix my burnout and make me happy again? Nah, not really. But look, to quote Mary Poppins, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful of way. So, look, if it's a big amount of money, it could change my life and become my career. I may really be interested in that. I might be a game changer and be like, okay, I'm wanting to do this. But right now, as it is, no. So why now? I guess is another good question. Look, the current situation with 3D movies is incredibly frustrating and perplexing. This is part of the reason I feel really burnt out and angry, and why I don't want to continue with this website. I have no idea what the future brings for 3D movies, and frankly, I don't give a damn. Over the decades, 3D movies have come in and out of style. Maybe the 2020s will be a lighter decade for 3D movies compared to the 2010s. I don't know. COVID aside, there's even fewer movies releasing in 3D than that last few years. Several movies that I thought would release in 3D did not. For example, the second Shazam movie is not planned to come out in 3D, but the first one did. I don't know why. It has become very difficult for me and the crew to review 3D movies and create new content. Fewer theaters are showcasing 3D screenings. The 3D release of Dawn of the Dead was limited to only one theatrical chain, Regal. The 3D release of Jaws was basically only available for 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks were that's it, and you're never going to see it again. And we had no idea this was happening until right before. The window of time for you to see a movie in 3D is very short now. Look, we've had to trek very long miles and distances to watch movies. On several occasions, I've driven 30 plus miles on my own gas and my own car to go see a movie in 3D. And I know other people in the team have done similar things, if not longer treks and drives. Shouldn't have to be that way for just to watch a movie. Nope. 30 miles is about 48 kilometers for anyone listening that doesn't know what miles. We shouldn't have to try to watch a movie at 11:45 p.m. because that's the only time it has a screening for 3D. Look, very few people were able to watch the 3D version of Puss in Boots' Last Wish because cinemas decided not to bother with it because Avatar Way and Water came out at the same time. And they're like, well, we're just going to put it on Avatar. Well, people want to watch other movies too. And a lot of people weren't given the opportunity to watch it. Look, 3D movie screenings have become a limited affair, and select theaters and at weird times. Some 3D movies simply don't get 3D screens anywhere near where we live. There's been times where I am interested in a movie in 3D, but it's not showing anywhere near me. So I was like, all right, whatever. I asked why I have a big team and try to ask those team members to record stuff and do stuff, but sometimes it doesn't align with their schedules. It's just a hassle. Yes, Avatar Way of Water had a huge 3D release, but that's not the case for many 3D movies. After 2009, the release of Avatar 3D movies became more mainstream, and now has become, it became a big thing. Now, after the second film, I have no idea if history will repeat itself again. People often say, well, Avatar started... No, it didn't. No, it didn't. 3D movies were around. The modern 3D age technically started in 2004 or 2005, in that range. Yeah. There was some big 3D movies before Avatar. People just want to have that as a good starting point, but it's not true. Will 3D movies, more movies get 3D releases in the future? I hope so. But somehow, I'm not filled with confidence. I guess making $2 billion worldwide at the box office isn't what it used to be. I know inflation stinks, but come on. Certain movies released in 3D outside the US. Why is that? I don't know. On top of all that, we don't know about the 3D quality itself. Is the 3D bad because the theater was bad and a bad projector? Or is it 3D bad because people that made the 3D conversion didn't try? We have no idea of knowing this. We complain to management at the different theaters, and some theater chains have a monopoly in local areas, and they don't care. They don't give a shit about you. They think they just want to make as much money as possible, and most people won't complain, so whatever. To try to get away with anything. Look, we pay for movie tickets on our own. We don't get free screenings. We're not big enough to have, free Hollywood screenings, the red carpet. Nah. So, if a 3D looks terrible, we don't have the money or the time to go to multiple screenings and multiple days and multiple locations to see if, well, maybe this theater is bad, but that theater is great. We don't have time for that. And we don't have money to waste on that for the same one movie. So it's just, we have to just trust our gut. Maybe that theater had an off day. Maybe not. Who knows? And that's so difficult to do a website with that. It's frustrating to cover this website. It's frustrating, because I want to do 3D Blu-ray reviews, but now they're extremely rare. How do we do a preview for 2023 if you don't know what movies will actually get a 3D release? For example, Scream 6 got a 3D release. Cool for that movie, but we didn't know about it until a couple weeks before release. How am I supposed to do a preview for the whole year if we get releases that I don't know about? We know about Scream 6 releasing, but we didn't know about the 3D release until soon before. Movies that I thought were going to get 3D releases never got them. Kids movies that used to always get 3D releases, not the case. Why didn't DC League of Super Pets get a 3D release? I don't know. Looks like WB is dropped from 3D altogether. Outside of Marvel, Disney, and DreamWorks, we currently don't know if any other movie studios will continue to support 3D on a regular basis. Many movies don't even mention 3D as an option at the end of their trailers anymore. Very few 3D movies even get 3D trailers anymore. Will the second Dune movie get a 3D release? I don't know. Hobbs and Shaw was supposed to get a 3D US release, but never actually happened. Like, it was canceled literally the day of release. Why did that happen? I don't know. Navigating through 3D movie news is a hot mess, and I don't have the patience for this anymore to sort it all out. It wasn't this difficult to get information when I started the website in 2014. Emails to movie studios and tweets specific people go unanswered. They used to comment right back, but not anymore. Whose nipples do I have to twist to get some straight answers? Jesus Christ, why is it so hard to be a 3D fan in 2023? Why don't I try to broaden up the scope of the website? Other websites have done this. They wanted to increase traffic, expand their audience. For example, you could get articles with the Academy Awards on comicbook.com. I don't know what, that Oscar for random movie has to do with comic books, but okay. And, if you go to GameSpot, you can get some wrestling news. GameSpot, a spot for games. Now it talks about WWE wrestling. Look, not trying to hate, but I refuse to make 3dor2d.com like this. I don't want to lose a focus. I don't want to make this the MTV website where it can just cover whatever the hell it wants. I don't know the last time MTV has actually had a music video on its damn channel. Yes, in theory, I could make the website cover every kind of thing and be popular and make money off of it and have, all these trending random topics, but I don't want that. Call me crazy all you want, but I'm not going to lose the focus for clicks. The confusing manner that we consume content is another reason why I feel burnt out. Social media popularity comes and goes in a heartbeat. You need to post on all of them to get any kind of attention, to stay visible, to stay relevant, to be able to gain an audience. It's very difficult to gain any kind of traction in any kind of social media network now. You have millions and millions of people making millions of content, and you're just one person. Currently, several social media outlets exist: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, Mastodon, whatever. It's just too much work for one person to create content that works well for each platform. Each platform has its own rules. It's exhausting to navigate the maze of ever-changing algorithms and analytics. It's demoralizing to make content when you have no idea if people will ever actually appreciate it. Are the numbers of subscribers that I have /followers real? I don't know. What about anyone else's numbers? Are they real? I don't know. Are it just all bullshit bots? Yeah, probably. I remember you used to be able to go to a vending machine and get, 20,000 bots for $10. And those bots will give you subscribers. And then if you had 1 million bots, then, that's $20 a month. But that way you can become an influencer, and bada bing, bada boom, you're successful because you have money. I don't know if that's the case anymore. Maybe they changed things. Who knows? Look, I could always, deciphering what is going to be popular is impossible to know. You have no idea. Controversy and fake news is the easy way to gain popularity, but I don't want that sort of attention. I just want to be me and do the art that I want to do. I don't want to be a copy of Cinemassacre, Film Theory, JJ, or Weird History, or whatever. I'm not throwing any shade to them. I like them a lot. I respect these different YouTubers. They're some of my favorite content creators, and I wish my content were even 1/10 as popular as y'all's. Continuing to create content, make this art, is simply too hard to justify. It's annoying to have to make content that is search engine optimized. I just want to make content that I want to make. I don't understand why one simple 3-minute video can get 50 million views while another well-produced 15-minute video only gets 5 views. Doesn't make any kind of sense. It's not logical. Look, don't get me wrong. I enjoy art for the sake of making art. But the issue is when this art is costing me time, money, and my sanity, I can't keep doing this. I never made my art for fame and fortune, but to be consumed by an audience on a regular basis. You read the review, you come back, listen to the podcast, you come to the website, get a preview for next movie, and so forth. I want to know my art's appreciated and that it's worth doing. People rarely leave a comment anymore or hit the like button. I know that shit matters. It does. People are like, oh, it doesn't matter. You know what? You get 100 views, one person might like it. If that. It matters. It could be the difference between me having a great day and me having a meh day. Look, I have no idea if the content that I make, it just goes into the endless void that is the internet. I know my patrons appreciate my work. I know I have some long-term fans that appreciate my work, but that's just not enough anymore. I'm sorry. Now, this decision has no connection to cancel culture or being quote-unquote canceled or none of that stupid shit. I'm no Republican, so fuck the GOP. Those dried-up cunts cancel people too. This is my website. I paid for it, and I'm doing this because I want to do this. This is my choice that I chose to do. I don't want to do this anymore because I don't want to worry about this website anymore. It's just too stressful for too little gain. This website was fun to do for a few years, but now it's a website that doesn't bring me that much joy. Does the rest of the staff know about this website? Yes, I talked to them. And Kristen, Jake, Jacob, John, they are aware and they understand. I'll let them speak for themselves, but I feel like they probably agree with most, if not all, my points in this. Now, what if you have a 3D itch that still needs to be scratched? What recommendations do I have for you? Well, first of all, I recommend tridimensional.info for overall 3D content. Full disclosure, Kano3D owns tridimensional.info, and he's one of my patrons for Patreon. He didn't know as I was making this that I was going to give him a plug in this goodbye post. All that being said, I still really do like his website. There's a lot of passion for 3D still. He posts a lot of content with movie reviews and previews, and yeah, I actually like the design too. It's really nice and clean looking. So I legitimately think his website, it deserves your attention and appreciation and traffic. I also recommend Real Future Pictures. Robman3D runs this YouTube channel. He regularly posts 3D movie reviews. They're both smart and funny. Now, I also have a lukewarm recommendation for cinemablend.com. Cinemablend uses a convoluted mathematical formula to review 3D movies. How they review movies just doesn't resonate with me. I've disagreed with many of their reviews over the years. They like to do fluff pieces and clickbait and put spoilers in their headlines. I guess they're an adequate website. They do regular reviews and previews, so I guess they're okay. Finally, I recommend Reddit, subreddit called Fans of 3D. Years before making 3dor2d.com, I dreamed about making and managing my own website. The dream came true, and now I'm ready to try and live out other dreams. I'm still relatively young. I'm about 40 years old, and I still want to have plenty of my own real-life adventures. The adventure of working on this website has to come to an end so I can have time for those other adventures. I have a big backlog of content that I want to experience. I haven't had a chance to consume it. I have a mountain of video games I want to play. I have dozens of DVDs and Blu-rays and TV shows I want to watch. Countless comic books and novels to read. I just want to sleep in and not feel guilty that this movie is not going to be late because the review, I have it, but I just want to sleep in. I'm sorry, man. I'm ready to drop the stress and anxiety this website has given me over the years. Look, don't get me wrong. I will not forget all the good times I've had this website. Take pride in the work that we've done. Take pride that I did this my way. I take pride that I was able to run a website and I was working full time. I had fun recording podcasts and writing reviews. I had fun ripping apart bad movies. I enjoyed flying over beloved movies. I had a wonderful opportunity to interview many interesting people. I was really happy to be able to play brand new 3DS video games before they were released. Each artist needs to know when to move on to the next stage, or when to get off the stage together. All good things must come to an end. I hope 3dor2d.com is a good thing for you. I hope you understand why I must move on from this website. As a wrap up, I want to thank many, many people. First of all, I want to thank my wife Amanda, who's been very patient with me as I worked on this website for many years. I want to thank my patrons, Kino3D, MK Ultra, Alex Folk, Kevin Winter, and Gravity Head Zero on Patreon, who've been very loyal and supportive to me over the years. Your patronage has helped fund many interesting things. You weren't a patron, or not a patron, you're missing out on a lot of quality, unique content. So you got some time to jump in. I would like to thank my superfans, Andy Grillerhand, I love 3D so much, Jim Cameron, 5943, Chris Washington 2208, who always posted good comments on YouTube. I want to thank everyone who's worked with me on the website over the years. Thank you, Kristen, Jerry, James, Krista, Jake, Jacob, John, and Robman. Y'all helped me make this website great, and I couldn't have done it without y'all. Y'all have added a lot of unique things and made this website really fantastic. I want to give a special thanks to a friend, Mr. Patrick from Malaysia. I chatted with him on Facebook over the years, and he's given me a lot of interesting information about living in Malaysia. I hope he's doing okay. I haven't talked to him in a little while. Speaking about Facebook, I want to thank my nearly 14,000 followers I have on that page. I even got to meet one person, one lucky fan in real life, when I went to go see Marvel's Black Widow. I don't remember your name, I'm sorry, but I'm happy that someone knew that the website exists and liked it, and I saw them in person. That's really nice. Thank you to everyone that follows me on social media. Thank you to my Twitter followers, especially Shaw2G, 3D Movie List, and Everett for all y'all's retweets. Thank you for all the game developers who've given me review codes and press releases over the years. Thank you again to Evan Jacobs from Marvel, who gave me a fantastic 3D interview. That interview is possibly one of the best moments of my time here at 3dor2d.com and of my life. Overall, I am so happy that we're able to output so many positive vibes in such a troubling times. I hope that people love the content that we help to make. 3dor2d.com has been a big part of my life the last 9 years, and overall, I've enjoyed my experience with it. Hopefully 3D movies can thrive in the future, and I hope that 3D community continues to grow. I hope that one day all 3D movies have great 3D presentations regardless of what cinema they're presented in. Not really likely, though. I hope the best for all the fans of the website and for our podcast. I hope the world becomes a better place in the near future, as we are way too divided and too angry at each other. I will try to remain positive for the future and keep fighting the demons of cynicism and self-doubt. Thank you for reading and or listening to this rant, and thank you for being part of this website. I know it's been a long goodbye. I hope everyone who listening or watching this or whatever, consuming this, I hope you all get plenty of love, joy, and happiness in your future life. I want to wrap this up with a quote from The Truman Show, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I know, The Truman Show is not a 3D movie, so fuck it. I don't care. Whatever. I'll do what the fuck I goddamn want. It's my last post. This is my goodbye post, and I'll say or write or whatever I want. Fuck it. Who cares? Whatever. Anyway, on to the quote. Good morning. And in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Goodbye, everyone. Yours truly, Adolph Vega, the soon-to-be former director and former editor-in-chief of 3dor2d.com. That's it for me. Bye. Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D, MK Ultra, Kevin Winter, Alex Folk, and Gravity Head Zero for your financial support on Patreon.com. You can find 3dor2d on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3dor2d. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye.